Created by Brett. Yeah.
Hey Brettheads! One of you asked me, and I can't remember who, how to have a better time in school. And I'm sure you're all thinking this anyway, so then I asked you, how do you guys have a better time in school? How do you make school palatable? How do you survive school? And then about 1 million of you told me how you do it. So I'm going to share the crowdsourced wisdom of how to have a better time in school. So a bunch of you thought sleeping was a good idea. Sleep, and if the class is interesting, listen to it. Why not? I sit at the back of the room and relax and maybe sleep a bit. The way I survive is fall asleep on the desk 3 hours. Don't drink or eat at school and don't do much or little. And then some breadheads use their imagination. For example, Mumbrult. And then there's, well, how I survive math class is I don't try to look at the clock for a while. After that, and when you look at it, it's been past 30, 40 minutes, or think about favorite video games and you just imagine yourself playing it in your mind and pass all your missions. That's how I get over my boring school days. And then this one's pretty clever. I simply don't think tomorrow is a school day. I think I just hang out with my friends at, school, I guess. It's not that hard to survive school. Most of the time we laugh and eat a lot during classes. Oh, and Merry Christmas, Brett. This was during Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Peanuts in the Club. Now some breadheads like to draw. Doodles, daydreaming, or napping. Make cartoons during class. And some of you have other things on your mind. Now if you're like a crafty secret agent, you can do high-tech espionage stuff. If you're in some computer tech class, bring a USB thumb drive, put lots of games on it. Then you open up the game and your work, and sort of have both your work and the game, and you can sort of multitask. Pretty clever. Some breadheads like to talk to friends. And then there's some that are just kind of creative, one-offs. Put a notebook on the table and pretend to write. You could bring something from home and fidget around with it while the teacher talks about stuff like history, because I'm not the biggest fan of history. Shark 2001, neither am I. And then here's the award for one no one else would have thought of. Act like I'm in prison, and if you do something bad, you're gonna get butt raped. Now this one sounds pretty typical, but listen to the innovativeness of it. Here, I'll just read it. I lately started drawing designs for YouTube videos I'm going to make. And I have a whole hand system to talk to friends with just hand movements. Dude, school must be boring, but your creativity, you created sign language. You gotta learn how to focus your talents. Make videos or something. And then there are some breadheads who are actually a little bit more responsible. I like to draw pictures. I suppose it all depends really if you want to do well in the class or not though. Aunt Susie, you have a point. And out of all the answers, the Aunt Susie and these two guys actually are having suggestions on how to actually learn stuff in school. Try to convince yourself that the current topic actually is exciting. There's usually always something in the topic that can be somewhat exciting. Good advice? A good tip I do is try to get involved into and listen for at least 2 minutes, and hopefully you get sucked into it and it'll go by fast. So out of 30 ideas, 3 breadheads suggested actually learning something at school. You should be ashamed of yourselves. No, but seriously, thanks for all the great ideas, because I never thought of most of those. I'd heard of the sleep thing or doodle. I was a big cartoonist. I would draw, not very well, but I would draw things, and later on I would write little computer programs. Oh, this would be neat if I did a loop here and had this output and whatever. So that's how I entertained myself. But I actually did get into a bunch of my classes. But for those other ones, like history, you know what I'm talking about, the Shark 2001. I have no idea how I survived. I wish I'd known sign language. Oh, and also, hopefully if you're watching this video, you got some good ideas that'll help you make it through school. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Thank you for all your ideas. If you're not subscribed, please do. And if you have a question about something, put it down in the thingy thing. And if I like your question and I can answer it, maybe I'll make a video for you next time.
Please share this vid